7 o'clock. Here we go. Here we are. Hello. We are live. We are on. I got requested on Wednesday to tell a story, so I'm going to tell another story until people request that I stop telling stories. So, and that gives us a nice lead in. I'm going to get a yoga mat just to sit on today. I was going to write this book once. It was just like, you know, you get those ideas, you're like, I'm going to do this thing, and then sometimes you never do it. But I was going to write this book called All the Bad Things I Did in School. And I had this idea because all throughout school they had been telling me that the bad things that I got caught doing, which wasn't a lot, I didn't get caught often, but the things that I did, there was this warning, and this warning was that this is going to go on your permanent record. And on your permanent record, when you go out into the world to try to get a job, they will be able to access your permanent record, and then they might not hire you because of the time, you know, you broke a dish in the cafeteria at high school on purpose, or, you know, whatever, or blew something up, or, you know, any of the things. So my mother worked for the Board of Education, and when I thought about writing the book, I thought, well, what I should do is get a copy of my permanent record, and then could be used like that could be used as my chapter list. So it would be like the book's almost done, and then my permanent record would have like all the details of all these bad things I did, and then I could write this book based on my permanent record. So I called my mother and I asked her to contact the high school to find my permanent record, and then I think they sent her somewhere else, and then it took her about a week, and she came back and she said, there is no permanent record. All they have is your last grades from the last 4 years of school, and just not even the grades for each a semester or year, just the ending average grades. So no permanent record. So just so we know, if you're still in school, you can do whatever. There's no such thing as a permanent record. And thank you for coming along. If you're not seated, let's sit. We're going to start as we've been starting every Friday. And I'm going to throw a couple extra ones in today that we haven't been doing on Fridays. But we're going to start with the Dear Mudra. The Dear Mudra is a thumb up, pinky up, and this finger. I don't know what this one's called. It's not the bad finger, but it can look like that one. But anyways, pull the bad finger and the pointing finger down for your Dear Mudra. It doesn't looks a little bit like a deer. And we're going to bring the knuckle of the pointing finger into the third eye. We're going to close the left nostril with the fingers. We're going to breathe in through the right. We're going to close both. We're going to breathe out through the left. We're going to breathe back in through the left. We're going to close both and breathe out through the right. We breathe back in through the right. We're going to close both, breathe out through the left, hold your core. Breathe back in through the left. Close both, out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Close both, breathe out through the left. And again, in through the left. Close both, open the right, out. Back in through the right. Close both, out through the left. Couple more, breathe in through the left. Close both, out through the right. Back in through the right. Close both, and then out through the left. And good, and let's just take a moment and feel the effects of the alt nostril breathing. And we're going to just do a minute, and I'm going to time it, of simple ujjayi breath, which I will talk to you in a bit of detail. So ujjayi breath is normally what we do during class. It's a breath in through the nose, deep, and a breath out through the nose. But to make it true ujjayi breath, you want to restrict the throat. And as I said, my yoga teacher in India who didn't speak English grabbed me by my throat, which freaked me out because I wasn't restricting the throat in my first class. So we're drawing the breath in, pushing the breath out with the restriction of the throat. You could keep your hand on the throat if you want that to remind you in the beginning, and then ultimately it should come naturally with practice. So just breathing in. Or not restricting the throat and just doing the deep breath. We got about 40 more seconds of deep breathing. You can pull the core in on the out breath. Couple more. Breath in. Out. You got your own timing. A little bit more. And all the oxygen might make you lightheaded. Some people might say that lightheaded is like getting high. That is true. Keep breathing. And let's breathe in. Let's hold that breath like we do at the end of class, and just hold the breath. And then let it all the way out. Good. Now, we normally don't do standing poses on Friday, but we're going to do maybe 3. So we'll get back down on the ground in a few minutes. But for now, let's stand. And you may not see my head because I'm set up for being on the ground. But we're going to stand. And we do this one a lot, but I want our Friday Night Light people to get this one. So step one foot over the other. And then let's hang down. And once hanging down, we're going to circle in the arms and really think about your back. And feel your back where it's tight. And then just let it kind of drop into that tightness. And see if you can lay or drop into that tension. And on the out breath, see if it opens up more. So we're doing that deep breathing that we did at the beginning. Good. Let's go ahead and switch the feet. So step the other foot. It'll change the way it accesses your back. And you could just hang if you want to really get into hanging. You could circle like we did on the previous one, or you can pendulum. The movement of the hands is a movement for the shoulders. And we breathe. Just a little bit more. Good, and let's stand. I want to do 2 more poses today, but we're going to not do any vinyasa. So your right foot will be at the top of the mat, and your left foot is going to step back about the distance of one of your legs. We're going to do Warrior 2 for those of you that know it. But I want to take some time for the Friday Light people, because the Warrior 2 is the one that we'll be doing a lot on the Monday and Wednesday classes. So you want your feet heel to heel aligned. The back foot is turned like 45, 90 degrees. The front foot is straight forward. That straight forward foot, you're going to bend the leg until the knee is out over the ankle, and then we're going to reach the arms out over both of the ankles and over both of the heels. We're going to maybe, if we want a little more action, dig the big toe into the front foot into the mat and rotate the outside edge of the back foot. And we're going to take a few of those deep breaths here. We're going to do both sides of this and then we'll get back on the ground. But this is simple enough. Good. Let's turn the right hand so the palm faces the sky. Light as you can. Put your left hand on the back leg. Don't push. Just touch, and so you can, without looking, remind yourself what pants you're wearing. And then we're going to arch back, and let me go further back so you can see me. So we arch back, touching the back leg, making the whole body small between the panes of glass, so your left shoulder is pointing straight back. We're going to hold the core, the knee stays over the ankle. Great. So let's just switch it. We're going to put the left foot in the front and the right foot back, and we'll do the same conversation and a couple of other elements in this warrior two. Heel to heel, back foot is 90 degrees or up a little bit, 45, but heel to heel aligned as if you were standing on one line. Then that knee comes out over the ankle. We bring the arms up, and we talk about this all the time in Monday and Wednesday, but we tighten the core. So we hold our core and we lighten the shoulders. So we're going to stay here for a couple breaths. Good. Turn your left hand so the palm faces the sky. Right hand gently touches the back leg. I'll go sideways so you can see that. And then we arch back, and this hand is barely touching the leg. And we look up along the armpit to the ceiling. Excellent. Let's sit down again. I just wanted to get those tough ones right out there in the beginning. We're going to take the right hand and put it down. The fingers are pointing out and away, and the arm is going to stay straight. The left hand is going to come up and over, and we're going to lengthen looking up along the armpit. Keep your right arm straight and keep doing that breath we did in the beginning. Exercising your lungs. Deep breathing is to be done throughout the entire yoga class. It's a very important element of the yogic experience. Good. Let's go ahead and switch left hand down and then right arm up and over. So your right palm faces your left hand. The fingers are both pointing out and away. We look up along the armpit to the ceiling if it doesn't bother your head too much or your neck, and we're going to breathe here. Good. Back to center. We're going to do all the poses as individual poses. Those of you that want to between the poses can vinyasa. Sometimes we'll do reverse plank as a group, but those of you that are going hardcore are welcome to do a vinyasa here. I'll show you just one. This is not mandatory, but just so you know, the vinyasa is back, up dog, and down dog, and then ultimately we all meet in the sitting again. So, and by the way, I'll just yell out vinyasa for those of you that want to do it. I'm going to come closer for this one, because this one is, we're going to keep breathing, but lift one of your arms up. And you're going to take the other hand and you're going to get on the inside of the arm here. So the elbow is here, and then from the elbow we're going to come in. You can find like a groove there. And once the arm is bent, you can dig into that groove. Now when you find that groove and dig in a little bit, there's going to be discomfort. So move up and down it a little bit until you find the spot where it's a little bit like raw, and dig in and rub there. This is part of the, well, the carpal tunnel tendon that goes through the wrist here. It starts all the way up here in between these muscles here. And since we're spending, or at least me, a lot of time on the computer and a lot of time on the phone, getting a lot of tension there. And we're just going to rub, not even rubbing, you're digging in with force into the arm right there. You can see it better there. You can see where the muscle opens up. And then let's do the other side. So we're going to grab, and you can see where the elbow is, and then it comes in where the muscles are split here. And we're going to dig right in there. And you want to find the sensitive spot. And when you find that sensitive spot, I want you to breathe deep, and I want you to really rub on that and really dig your fingers in there. It should be a little uncomfortable, unless you're not on the computer a lot. Thank you, Terry, for saying "oh boy" story, and Julie too. I'm glad you guys enjoy that. I just wanted to do a little different stuff today. A little bit rub there, and then we're going to get to what we normally do on Fridays. Good. So this is also connected to the computer and the phone devices. Right hand out, left hand grabs the fingers. We're going to pull back, pull the shoulders down, and we're going to stay here breathing. Breathe the body strong. It's a great form of meditation. It's great to work the lungs and get all the oxygen happening. And then let's do the other side. So whatever that turns out to be. And try to keep that shoulder down. And big, long breathing. Good, let it down. You can shake those arms out. We got a moment if anyone wants to Vinyasa. And then we're going to reach the right arm up. We're going to bring it down the back. And we're going to take the left hand and grab the right elbow. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. You want the head pushing back against the arm. And we're going to hold here. Now, if you're super flexible, you can come around the back, bringing the hands together. And if you're nowhere near flexible, you can use the belt or the strap, and you can see how you would be able to cinch that up, coming together there. But it's nice just to take it easy. Good. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Left arm up, down the back. Keep your head pushing back against the arm. You can pull that shoulder a little bit open. Let's continue to breathe here. Okay, we're going to do reverse plank. All of us, those of you that would prefer to Vinyasa, are welcome to reverse plank. The hands are back far enough, but with the fingers pointing forward towards the feet, but the hands are back far enough to get under the shoulders. We're going to lift up and just look at the ceiling, and then we're going to come back down. From here, we're going to do a dynamic Jhana Sirsasana. We're going to bend the right leg. With the bent leg, the foot's against the thigh, and we push the knee down. Left on left. Now you could use a belt or a piece of cloth or a strap or a towel to hold the foot, or unless you can get the foot, or you can hold the shin. And then once you got your grip, you want a decent grip, we're going to reach the right arm up, deep breathing in, deep breathing out, down. And when we come down, we're trying to rotate that right shoulder down to the mat. It's a far ways away. And let's just continue with the breath. A little different today. Stay open for a moment. We'll take a couple breaths open. Then we are going to come back down and take a couple breaths down, trying to bring your nose towards your knee with the back kind of coming down evenly. So if that shoulder's up from the long reach, and let's stay in here. Jhana Sirsasana A, traditional. Good. Let's switch. So we want the right leg out. left foot coming in. And if your knee's up, you could push it down. If it's too uncomfortable for you, you can also put a mat under it if it won't go down, but we want it to go down eventually. Right on right with the strap or with the towel or the hand or the shin, and we breathe again, reaching up, breathing out, close it down, up on the in-breath, close it down again on the out, and over, please. Good. Let's stay open and up for a couple of breaths, reaching wrist to wrist, fingers to fingers. And then on an out breath, close it all down for Jhana Sirsasana A. Good. So we're going to reverse plank again. You're welcome to Vinyasa if you like. We lift up, we look up. Good. And we're going to come back down. Let's bring the soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana. We're going to do 2 or 3 different elements of this one today. It's taught like this sometimes, but you don't get the action of the backs, but I want to show you this different version. Take your thumbs and bring them down into the arches of your feet, and then try to turn those open like you're opening up like a book here. And then just stay here sitting up for a moment. And we're just going to take a moment trying to fold those arches open. We're going to fold forward, pushing the elbows against the legs. Keep breathing. Then we're going to come back up and we're going to do the one that we normally do together. But I wanted to teach that one tonight. Left hand grabs the small toes, right hand on top. Sit up tall. You're welcome to butterfly. But we can really access the shoulders and the sides of the neck a little more here. Whether you're butterflying or not, we're pulling the shoulders back and down, and we are reaching the top of the head way up. And we're going to stay here and breathe. Good. If the legs are moving, we will still them, and we're going to fold forward, pushing the elbows against the legs, folding either your face or your heart towards the feet. And you can experiment with how that makes your body feel. For me, when I fold the heart, it gets more on the inner thigh here. So it's up to you. Let's breathe here. Good, and we reverse plank again, so put the legs out. Those of you that want a vinyasa are welcome to. Fingers pointing towards the feet, toes pointing straight out and away. We're going to lift up and look at the ceiling. Good, and we're going to come back down. However it is possible, cross the legs. You can make it as simple as you like. Let's put the hands on the shoulders with the elbows pointing out and away. We'll take a breath in on one side and then out on the other side, and we'll go back and forth. Those of you that like are welcome to bring the goddess arms out or all the way out, which is a lot of leverage. And we're going to put that out breath on whatever side feels a little tight. If there's no tight side, then put it out wherever you like. Keep going. Keep the spine straight up the middle. Excellent. Take the right hand, put it on the left knee, so you got a grip there. Take the left hand, come either right behind you, sitting it on the ground, 6 inches out from your tail, or all the way around. You can see it over here, grabbing the shirt, the pocket, or the leg. Sit up real tall and then gently look back as we twist heavily in the torso. Great. Let's come all the way over to the other side. Left hand grabs the right knee. Right hand can sit right back behind you, or you can come all the way around, grabbing your shirt, your pocket, or your leg, or your pants, or if you're in full lotus, you would grab the foot. We're going to sit up tall as we twist and then gently look back to whatever wall is in your view, or whatever's to your side or behind you, and we're going to breathe here. Going back to center. Those of you that want a vinyasa, go ahead. The rest of us are going to grab the knees with the same hand. Right on right, left on left. Straight spine, and like there's a giant light shooting out of your head, like your kundalini light energy. I want you to draw a light circle on your sky ceiling. So one direction at first. We're still doing that breath. And then go the opposite direction. Just do the opposite way. So big circles from the light at the top of your head. All right, those of you that want a vinyasa, go ahead and vinyasa. The rest of us are going to set up hands and knees for the cat and the cow. So you want the knees 2 fists apart, the shoulders mostly above the wrists. We're gonna actually try something else here before we do cat and cow, because again, I'm getting a lot of forearm tension. So we're gonna, and if this gets too heavy for you, you're welcome to skip it. But try with one hand. I'm gonna take my right first off, and I'm gonna turn it all the way around so that the fingers point in towards my knee. So the thumb is pointing out and away. Now that's pretty intense. If it's too intense for you, don't do it. But if you can, do the other side. So we got both sides turning back towards the knees. This part totally optional. It'll really lengthen the forearms if you arch up in the back. Great. Come back down. Let's turn the hands forward and let's do cat-cow. Let the belly drop down as you breathe in, looking through the third eye. As you breathe out, arch the back. It is probably best to close your eyes when doing this movement. And we're going to just continue here. With the breath. Out breath is on the arch. In breath is as the belly drops down. Thirty more seconds. 20 more seconds. 10. Good, back to center. Look over the right shoulder, see the tail. And then over to the other side, see the other tail. Good, so I'm going to turn around so you can see this. We're going to turn the right hand into point towards the left. The knees are still under the hips and 2 fists apart. We're going to take the left arm and feed it through, laying onto the left shoulder and the side of the face. We're going to push the right hand against the mat, rotating through the back. If you want, I prefer this for me, but if you like, you can bring the back of the hand on your lower back, come around, get the leg. I like pushing the hand on the mat. It feels real good on my back. Good, let's come back up. We're going to switch. Left hand turns in to face now the right. And then we feed the right arm through, laying down again onto the shoulder and the side of the face, pushing the hand against the mat, or coming around the back if you prefer. And back up. Those of you that want a vinyasa, vinyasa. The rest of us are just going to simply step the right foot to the top of the mat. And once it's up there, you could step it a little further up if you like. And we're going to reach the arms straight up like Superman here. And we're going to just hold here, drawing the breath in, pushing the breath out, listening to the sound of the breath. Good, and I'm going to go back a little further. But bring the hands down now so that the hands are right down. The right hand is right inside of the right foot. The leg is pushing against your shoulder, left hand under the shoulder. You could stay here. You can walk those hands forward until you get down onto your elbows, or you could stay right here, breathing, lengthening the underside of your leg. Good, let's step back and then let's switch it. So left foot up to the top, arms straight up. You can bring that left foot further forward so you can feel your right quad stretching now on the top of the leg, whereas before we were stretching the underside of the leg. We're going to breathe here. Good, and then when you're ready, back down with the hands now. So we got the left hand right next to the left foot. Keeping the left leg pulling against the shoulder. If you want to walk the hands forward, bending the arms, even if the elbows don't get down, eventually over time they will, or stay with the hands right here where they are, right on the same line as the foot. And we breathe here. Good. Those of you that want a vinyasa, vinyasa. The rest of us are just going to step back to the hands and knees. And then let's step the right foot up again, top of the mat. Those of you that vinyasa are going to catch up. So we got right foot forward again. This time, arms up like a funnel. We do this one quite often. We'll take a few breaths here, if not more. Let's take the left elbow outside of the right leg. Oh, excellent, that cracked my back. Don't move the leg that is up here in the front. Hands in prayer, pull in. Pull the right shoulder back. Turn the fingers to your face. You're welcome to roll back on the ball of the foot that is behind you, straightening the leg. You're welcome to keep the knee down on Easy Friday. That's what I'm going to do. Let's stay here and breathe. You can look at the big toe on the foot in the front or up to the ceiling where your elbow is pointing. And it's a little harder to breathe here because your lungs are being squeezed. Go ahead and breathe anyways. Good. Let's step back to hands and knees again. We'll do the other side. Left foot up to the top. And arms up. We'll hold here. Get your stance so that the foot's up far enough so that the right quad feels like it's stretching a little bit. Good. Now, right elbow comes all the way over, or whatever the opposite worked out to be. Hands in prayer, pull in. You can look at the big toe on the foot in the front here. You can look up to where the elbow is pointing. You can roll back onto the ball of the foot like I demoed on the other side, and we will stay here and breathe. Good. Those of you that want a vinyasa, please vinyasa. The rest of us are going to sit down and find a nice place to sit. So normally if I'm at a wood floor situation, not the carpeting, I'll double up my mat because we're going to do our ab work. And we will do 5. And we're going to bring the arms underneath the legs and roll back under the tail. Now you could stay right here, and this is a balancing exercise. And it's a tiny bit of core work to do this. You want to step the core work up. You let go. You feel it right there straight away. If you want to step it up further, legs straight, hands in prayer to the toes, to the third eye, or even more is behind the head. But it is Friday. I'm going to take it easy. You can do what you like on your end. We're going to breathe here. Good. I'm going to come around so you can see we're crossing the legs before the feet come down. We're grabbing the shins. We're reaching up through the top of the head and reaching down through the shoulders. Good. And back up number 2 of 5. We'll hold here. You got all the choices on how you want to approach that, so we're going to breathe. Cross the legs again, grab the shins. So you can see here, I'm trying to make my back a straight line up to the crown of my head. We're still doing the deep breathing. We're exercising the lungs all the time, getting the oxygen. Pranayama, the life force prana. Number 3, back up. Still breathing, working the core. Good. Cross the legs again. Grab the shins, sit up really tall. Good. Up again, 4 or 5. Cross the legs. Try to make that straight line in front with your spine there. Excellent. All the way back up. This is the last one. Good. Go ahead and hug the knees into your chest. We're going to lie down. Grab the shins and then bring your nose up and really pull down enough so that your lower back lifts off the mat. Good. Let's put the feet down. Feet and knees are 2 fists apart. We're going to do bridge. So we're going to lift the hips up. We're going to intertwine the fingers underneath and tuck the shoulders one at a time under deeper. Those of you that want to do Urdhva Dhanurasana are welcome to. You can also do supported with the thumbs underneath the lower back, or just stay with the fingers interlaced, holding the hips up to the ceiling. And we're going to breathe here. Good. Back down. We're going to thread the needle for our kind of hip opener. We're going to lift the right leg up. We're going to take that right ankle and bring it just inside down on the left knee. We're going to keep the right hand on the same side as the leg that is bent and up and feed it through the legs, grabbing the left shin, and other hand comes around, and we're going to lay back. If it's too much to grab the shin, you can grab the underside of the leg. It's a little bit easier. Bring the toes towards your shins and think about your right knee going forward. And we're going to breathe here. Deep breathing, restricting the larynx if you like, or just deep breathing in the nose. Good. Let's unwind that and let's do the other side. So left leg comes up. We're going to bring that ankle just down the inside of the right leg. We're going to take the left hand, which is on the same side as this foot here, feeding through, grabbing the shin. Other hand meets from the outside or the underside of the leg if you like. We lay back, bringing the toes towards the shins. Again, breathing. Excellent. Let's lay down. Unless you need to see what I'm talking about, just go ahead and lay down. If you have a strap or just a piece of material or a sock or a belt or a towel, we're going to wrap that on the right foot. But we will be laying down, which I will be myself in a second, but I just wanted to get up so I could do that. And once laying down, we're holding the strap on the right foot like so. If you don't have anything near, don't worry about it. Just grab the back of the leg. Ultimately, and don't try to get there, we're trying to get the big toe with the peace fingers, but with the shoulder down. So the strap is sometimes more useful for that until your leg opens up enough, which me will be in my next lifetime. So we're going to breathe here. Good. Let that leg, keep a hold of it, even if you're just holding the back of it or the strap of the towel. Let it fall out to the right as you look over to the left with your arm reaching out flat on the ground to the left. And we'll stay here. Good. Come back up. We're going to switch hands on whatever we're holding the foot with. So left is now grabbing the right. And we're going to bring the right arm out. And then that left leg's going to go all the way over. The hip lifts up. We try to keep the shoulders down. It's not going to always be easy. We're going to stay here and breathe. We're looking out or trying to look to the right hand. Again, don't stress the neck. So back up, we don't need the towel. We're going to let it go wherever it's going to go and grab the back of the leg. Try to get, though, if possible, above the knee joint. You can get on the thigh. And once you get to the heel, you stop. We're not trying to grab the foot. We'll bring the nose up to the knee. Do everything you can to hold the left leg down. We're going to breathe here. Good, let that down. Change the foot so it's left on left with your material. And we're going to stay here. You can have the right hand on the right leg trying to hold it down if it's giving you any trouble, or just right at your side. We're going to breathe here. Excuse me. So left on left, we're going to let that leg fall out to the left as we look out to the right with the arm reaching out, and we'll stay here. Great. Back up. So we'll switch the hands. Right grabs left. So now we come all the way over. The hip is coming up here. This arm is reaching away, and we're trying to look to the reaching left hand. Good. All the way back up. You can do away with the towel or the strap. We're grabbing up towards, at least get above the knee joint. And we'll do everything we can to hold the right leg down. Good. So let's scoot over to a wall or to the couch. Maybe I'll demo on the couch today, but if you can get to the wall, put your feet all the way up to the wall. If you just got a couch or a chair, same thing. So we're doing a bit of inversion, but it's a real light inversion. You're welcome to do shoulder stand, but it's nice to go easy once in a while. So with the feet either straight up the wall, with the heels on the wall, we'll bring the arms out, or even on your table or couch or whatever. And we're going to stay here, just breathing with a portion of the body higher than it normally is. So the legs are up above the heart, and we're going to breathe here. Really focus on the deep breathing. Good, let's come off the wall. And we're going to stay laying down. And we're going to have the feet 2 fists apart. And this is a little different than that the normal one we do. We're going to let the knees fall together. The arms are out like a T, but we're going to keep the knee touching at least a portion of the leg. So we go to one side, you see the knee still touches, and then the other side. And then when we're in the center, the knees are together. And then just back and forth. This is real nice on the lower back. And just deep breathing. If you want to try to put the out breath on each time you go over to the side, you're welcome to. Or just deep breathing. And my hip is coming off the ground on each side as it comes, as we go to the opposite side. So the hip on the opposite side comes off the ground. And that's how we're getting that lower back stretch one side at a time. Now, next time you fall over to your right, the right leg will be on the underside. Take the right ankle and put it on top of the left knee, and that'll pull down through the hip a little bit. Good. We need to reorientate the feet so the knees are together, the feet apart, and then over to the other side so we have the same spacing. Left comes out, and we pull down through the right hip now. Good. So for those of you that want, we're going to do a little different thing for the meditation. You want to, and I'm going to re-roll my mat up so that we can do it together. You want to roll your mat up as tight as you possibly can. If you just want to lay down and put your hands on your belly like we do every Friday and do that meditation, you're welcome to. But this is going to be a little bit of a back opener. It's from Restorative. And get that mat as tight as possible. Tighten it up. So I'm just showing you when we lay down, we're going to want the mat on the back so that it's about at the base of your skull and then right here at your tail or somewhere close. You may have to adjust to get comfortable. I'm going to lay facing away from you so that you can see the couple of things I'm going to do with my hands. So with that, we're going to lay down on that mat. And it may feel better with your legs bent, but if you can, lay down totally flat. So let's see if you can see me still. Yes, very good. So lay down and get yourself comfortable so that the mat is at the base of your skull, and then it's going to end up with your height wherever on the end. Now you could lay down all the way flat, but we're going to reach the arms all the way up to the ceiling. Yvette showed me this one. And we're going to let the shoulders drop down into their shoulder joints. Just let the back be open. Just stay here. Breathing. Letting those shoulders drop way down. Good. And then we are going to take the fingers and put them down on the ground outside of us and grip the ground a little bit as we let the back be loose. Good. Now put the hands on the belly. If you don't feel comfortable laying on the mat, you're welcome to roll off and lay down however you like. We're going to do it might be a little shorter meditation than we normally do on Fridays, but we're putting the hands on the belly. You can remain laying on the mat. You can lay on that mat like that for a good 5-10 minutes, and it's good. Or you can get off of it if you prefer. So with the hands on the core, every time you breathe in, the fingers should come apart, and every time you breathe out, the fingers will come back together. So let your body just breathe itself now, and you can really experience the body breathing through the movement of your hands. So close your eyes and just feel the movement of your breath and just vanish into that simplicity. And we'll be here from here about 5 more minutes, and I'm just going to be quiet today and just experience that and hang around, and we'll all finish out together. All right, well, the dogs say it's time. So if you're on the mat, you can roll it out from underneath you, or you can just roll off of it. And we're going to all slowly roll up to a seated position. Once everybody is sitting, sit comfortably, however you can sit comfortably. We're going to do our normal. Bring the hands to the heart center. Rub them together like you're trying to make a fire to lead your way, a fire that meets you with your intuition and leads you on the path, although you're on the path already. So you're on your path right now. You're in the right spot, on the right part of your path right now. We go forward with the light. We follow that light thread. All right, all the way up with the arms. We're going to breathe in as much as we can. If you can breathe in more through the mouth, breathe in more. If you can breathe in more, breathe in more. Over time, it will get easier. Breathe in more. We want strong lungs. Hold the breath. Hold the core. Hold the legs. Hold the floor tight. And we let it all out. All righty, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on Friday Night Light. I try to mix it up a little bit tonight, and I had fun doing some of those poses. I needed some of those poses. I needed a lot of those, especially that one. That's why I put it on. I think we're all alike, and so I always feel like if I need something, probably everyone else needs it too. So thank you for joining me. It's danieloverberger.com. You can find the links to my Venmo and my PayPal. Thank you so much for all the donations that all of you have sent. And we're doing yoga every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Friday is our light, Wednesday is our more vinyasa, and Monday, it's kind of a bit of a workout still. That's it. You guys have an awesome weekend. It was totally super hanging out with you, and we will be back on Monday. Thank you. See you guys soon. All right.
Living your dream.
Oh, yes. Sorry. You're living your dream. Don't miss it. Namaste.